Hi, so today I'm going to be telling you how to cook corned beef hash. So this is a really quick, easy midweek recipe to do. If you've just picked up the kids from school and you've finished work, you can do this many ways. You can do it really quick, really simple, or you can do it really long, really complex, and it will take you about 2 hours. So really complex, you could take a potato, you can peel your potato, slice it, dice it, parboil it, then fry it to give you little potato nuggets. Then you can add that to your corned beef hash. We're not going to do that today because we want to maximise the amount of time we've got with family. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with corned beef. Get on in here, Bella. We've got Bella behind the camera today. So we're going to take our corned beef. I've already taken this out of the can. We're just going to slice through it with a sharp knife. Don't use blunt knives because you'll cut yourself. Don't worry about making these cubes uniform and exact. Okay, all these recipes that I do, they're all quite rustic. What you want to be doing is maximizing the flavor. Get back to wide. So the flavor is the most important bit. And all you're doing is aiming to get these a little bit cubed up. You can put the tin of corned beef in the fridge to start with, if you want. It makes it a little bit easier, a little less messy. Get your bowl. Put your cubed corned beef in the bowl. Keep your hands a quick wipe. Grab a couple of spoons. Now, quite important, this is going to make your corned beef hash next level. You want a good dollop, maybe 2, of whole grain mustard. You want some English mustard to put a little bit of pep in there. Not that much. You can put more in if you want a bit more pep, which I will, because I do like a peppy dish. Get rid of the spoon. Then you want some Worcester sauce. And I've just run out of Worcester sauce, but we'll make do with what we got. Then mix it. Just get your hands in there. Just massage it through. Don't be shy. Think, you just come home from work, your kids are screaming, they're hungry. You want to deter them from going to the snack drawer. This is what's going to deter them from going to the snack drawer, because you'll be able to do this really quick, really easy. Try and get all the bits off from there. Nice quick clean. Now, one of the most time-consuming parts of corned beef hash are the potato elements. So we're going to cheat. Like I said, we can go the potato route. We can skin it, or we can leave the skin on. We can slice it, we can dice it. But no, not today, because I'm in a rush. I'm really hungry, the kids are really hungry, so we're just going to use crispy potatoes. And we're just going to chuck them in the air fryer. So open your air fryer, crispy potatoes in the air. As many as you need. In this case I'm doing for 2 people, so probably that many. I am quite a fan of potatoes. Couple 100 degrees. Start it off 10 minutes. Done. Right. Next step. The hash. Oil. in your pan. Light that sucker on fire. Bella, do you like corned beef hash?
I've never tried it.
You never tried corned beef hash? You
Nope.
haven't lived. So we're going to let that warm up. In the next pan, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding some onion, which we're going to slice up in a moment. But to start with, what we're going to do is we're going to get this corned beef hash sizzling away and browning. So, important bit with corned beef hash, a lot of people, they don't let the beef sit in the pan. Let the beef sit in the pan, let it brown, then mix it through. That's really important. It's going to add more flavour to your corned beef. If you can brown beef, think about it, if you eat raw beef, does it taste good? No, not really. If you eat it, when it's had a little bit of colour on it, that char adds a little bit more flavour. So that's what we're aiming for. We're aiming to get that char on our corned beef. So take your corned beef, push it down. And the next bit. Again, just push it down a little bit. What we're trying to do is create a nice little bit of a surface area for that corned beef to make contact with the pan. I would have liked a little bit more Worcester sauce in this. I do like Worcester sauce in corned beef hash, but like I said, we don't have it. Can't do much about it. That onion's gone. Right, chopping an onion. You've got these little strangly hair bits. Attached to that is the root. Don't cut into the root. If you cut the root, you're going to cry like a baby. So cut the bottom, cut the top, cut through, take off this papery skin, because if you try and cut into that papery skin, your knife is liable to slip, and that is what's going to lead you to lose a finger. So you don't want to be cutting into that papery skin. So get rid of that. There we go, we've got that nice bit of onion. Okay, so we don't want mega thin slices, we just want sort of rustic slices. Remember, we're aiming for speed with this dish really. We don't want to be faffing around in the kitchen for 2 hours making it look pretty. If it falls like that, just slice it up. No one's going to care, I promise you, it's going to taste so good. Again, just nice rustic slices. And through. So, I'm going to light the other burner on the other pan now. So now that one's going, we're going to chuck the onions in the pan and get them going as well. We're going to chuck the rest of the corned beef mix in. The heat's on quite high. I'm going to try and get, there it is, that nice bit of crust coming through the beef. It's that crust that's going to make this dish next level. A lot of corned beef hash recipes, they look very, very pale, very bland. But if you can get some heat going through it and get a nice little bit of crust on the bottom and then mix that crust through the beef, what you'll find is that it's going to go through the entire dish and flavour everything. So accompaniments with this dish, good ones are baked beans, slice of beans on toast, goes really well with it. If you're making this next level, I would say buy something really nice, like some nice granary bread, and toast it, serve it with beans on top of the bread and a fried egg. If you're just going midweek cheat meal, I would say just go government issue white bread, beans on the top, done. It depends how quickly you want to make it. So we're aiming for speed here because I've just been at work all day. I don't want to be cooking all bloody evening. Okay, we're going to go through this again. So you can see the depth of colour that's coming through on this corned beef now. That's what we're looking for. That depth of colour is flavour. What I'd recommend is that you get yourself a nice silicone spatula for this, because you can really scrape around the edges of those pans to get into all the nooks and crannies. But use whatever you've got. Don't be frightened to experiment with this dish either. So if you like a little bit of spice in your food, maybe put some jerk seasoning on your potatoes at the end before you add them to the corned beef. That's going to come through into the final dish. If you don't like spicy food, don't add it. Keep an eye on your onions. Got one escapee there, I'm going to catch him. Just be mindful of your flames. So with your onions, when they've gone a little bit glassy, just let them sit. Keep the heat on a high, but let those onions sit for a while. What you want, again, is a little bit of char coming through, because it's going to impart flavour. Give our potatoes a quick shaky shake. It's going to impart some flavour into your onions if you can let them catch and burn a little bit. Other accompaniments, so fried eggs, baked beans, tomato ketchup works really well. Again, just going through the corned beef hash now. So all we're doing, we're cooking this down before we add the potatoes. Then what we're going to do, once the potatoes are cooked, we're going to add the potatoes in. So another next level version of this with those potatoes. Once you've sliced and diced your potato, you've parboiled it, you could roast it, you could pan fry them and turn them into triple cooked potato cubes. Bella, what's your thoughts? How else could you do with potatoes? Any ideas?
Jacket potato.
Jacket potato. Jacket potato with this would go really well, actually, yeah. That's really good. So we've got 2 minutes left for our potato cubes. They're not quite done though, so we're going to leave those a little bit longer. Our onions are starting to catch on the bottom, so you can see that brownness coming through there. That's what we want. That's going to give these onions a nice charred flavour. We're going to keep an eye on the hash as well. That's going really well. You can see it bubbling, colour's starting to change as well. Around the edges you can see some nice little crusty bits forming. Remember, all that stuff is going to put flavour through the dish. This is a really good dish for midweek cheat meals, because when I come home, I really cannot be bothered to cook a big meal that's going to take like 2 hours. So if there's a cheap version, yeah, I'm using that cheap. So don't be frightened to use any cheap options. If you can freeze it or it's frozen and it's available, just use it. Because I guarantee you, most people won't know the difference. And if it tastes good, why not? So those onions are coming up nicely. Unfortunately, the oven doesn't go any higher than this. If I could get I've got a big wok burner here, which I could put the corned beef onto, but I don't really want to use the big wok burner. This one's doing all right. So potatoes, they're still going. So now we're going to go for max crisp. Oh, we're going to go for air fry. Okay, so we're just going to keep an eye on this corned beef, keep mixing it through, changing the consistency and the colour. Now you can see all of these burnt bits, well not burnt, but cooked bits of corned beef coming through. Corned beef can be quite expensive at the moment. I think I paid about £3.90 for a can, so it's not cheap. You can buy it cheaper if you shop around, but it is a meal that you can batch cook. So you could get a couple of cans of it. You can batch cook the whole lot, which will do you for 2 days. So then you've got about £7 worth of corned beef divided by 2, so you got like £3 something. So those onions, they're about ready now. They've got a nice little bit of black on them. So we're going to switch those off. They're done. That's it. Onions don't need any more. Next stage for those, they're going to get chucked into this pan. Okay, so potatoes, done. They're going in. Onions, they're done. They're going in. Get those burnt ends out. It's all going to put flavour in the pan. Then we're just going to combine it through. Warm the whole dish back through. We had to take a little break because our potatoes weren't done quite enough. So we did have 5 minutes of just waiting for those potatoes to finish because I did add probably a few too many potatoes. So we're going to season this a little bit with some salt. Not too much because corned beef is quite salty. Some black pepper. And also some smoked paprika. Just to add a little bit of a depth to the flavour. And again, we're just going to mix that through, just combine everything up. So really quick, really easy cheap meal that's wholesome, hearty, good honest food, which everyone's going to enjoy. You haven't spent 3 hours preparing everything, slaving in the kitchen. That corned beef is now looking really good. It's taken on a really nice, deep, dark colour. And all of that is going to be flavour. Like I say, combine this with some baked beans on toast, fried egg, tomato ketchup, you're onto a real good winner. And there we go, there we have it. Gas off. Plate it up. So that would be like a portion. So this will feed a family of 3 or 4. Combined with your toast with beans and your fried egg. Really big meal, really good. no one's going to ask for more food. They might ask for seconds, but other than that, you're done. And taste. Really good. Really hot, but really good. Anyway, hope you like it. Sorry about the production quality. It's the first video. If you like it, click like, click subscribe. Tomorrow, spaghetti bolognese.